Mate, you now understand what it's like. After seeing his McLaren friend Oscar Piastri's painful experience of Max Verstappen's overwhelming genius, Lando Norris could console himself with that thought while enjoying an oddly comforting Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. It was the Dutchman, not Norris, who prevailed. Piastri came in third, but he came in second. Living with the moniker of favorite is not easy. Norris has discovered that. He has endured the strain in his public outburst. Piastri had been the epitome of coolness going into the race, leading by 16 points. Here, that lasted for a second or two. He got off to a strong start. The first reminder of Verstappen's essence followed. They filled the displays whenever you looked at them throughout the next 2 hours. First turn. Verstappen was almost in the 22nd century after braking so late from second on the grid. Moments later, at Tamburello, he wriggled in front of the pole-sitter, Piastri, to finish the mugging. The Australian braked slightly less early than Verstappen did late, possibly distracted by the fact that George Russell's Mercedes was following him closely after it had started right behind him. The die was rolled. Christian Horner, the Red Bull team principal, praised his man's measured bravado, saying, "Win it or bin it." Piastri said that Verstappen's attack had taken him by surprise. He bemoaned, "I thought I had it pretty under control. Max made a wise decision. Obviously, I'll learn for the next time." Verstappen gained 1.4 seconds on his subsequent navigation of Imola and a 1-second lead over Piastri in the remaining 3.05 miles of the first lap. He persisted in tearing into a lead that, as long as the sun was shining, he would not have given up. Verstappen demonstrated this argument by maintaining his pace on deteriorating tires throughout his first stint, creating a gap large enough to ensure he would finish his last pit stop ahead. Against McLarens that were expected to be dominant, this advantage was attained. Regarding being overtaken early on, Piastri, who was attempting to win 4 straight, stated, "At that point I wasn't overly concerned about not being in the lead. However, our speed wasn't as strong as I had anticipated." The competitiveness of the cuisine has occasionally suffered in the past few seasons as a result of Verstappen's skills being tethered to a Red Bull of his dreams. When Norris, to put it bluntly, squandered his better tools last year, that was not the case. He has maintained his toe in the championship door, with only his wounded nail acting as a rebellious wedge, but not this season, at least not until yesterday. Throughout the early portion of the season, he has dominated, primarily using his go-to gung-ho assault and defense. 2 weeks ago in Miami, his aggression was once more on display. Its cruelty has the power to ingrain itself in the minds of people who are close to him. Norris is aware of it. Piastri is learning about it. With 17 races left in the marathon, Verstappen is now just 22 points ahead of Piastri and 9 ahead of Norris. He is on the search, rewarded for never having let his dedication waver. He is not so much waiting as he is striving for a change in luck. At the conclusion of his team's 400th race, 65 of which Verstappen won, Horner declared, "We are building up momentum at a crucial time." There have been several greats in motor racing. Outside the well-known ancient circuit, Via Nuvarali serves as a reminder. It pays respect to the pre-war buccaneer who Murray Walker considered to be one of the best drivers in history. However, Murray did not live long enough to witness Verstappen's heyday. Like his quadruple world crowns, we won at Imola for the 4th time in a row. When Esteban Ocon of Haas conked out, Verstappen found a virtual safety car to be useful. It was less timely to introduce a later safety car after Kimi Antonelli's Mercedes gave up the ghost. After 7 laps of contention, it meant that Piastri and Norris were behind him when the race resumed. Max has no issues. Like a getaway car, he was on his way. Norris was running third. Shouldn't McLaren have switched him to Piastri, who was running second? With 9 laps left, the Briton was the only mortal who could put pressure on Verstappen since he was running newer tires. Irrelevant, Horner later contended. He remarked, "We had the pace to cover that." Following Piastri for 4 laps, Norris battled his way past him while holding his breath on the McLaren pit wall. It was an exact and courageous move. Verstappen, meanwhile, had moved up the road by this point. It ended with Verstappen crossing the finish line 6 seconds ahead of Norris and Piastri 6 seconds behind. Red Bull deserves praise for introducing the aero improvement to Italy. This team is unique. It takes tenacity to win numerous championships in 2 different phases, separated by 8 years. Yuki Tsunoda, in the other Red Bull, finished 10th, 24 seconds behind the pace, following the final, short stanza of racing. This figure, while appreciating their collective resilience, serves as a yardstick for Verstappen's personal glory. After a significant shunt on Saturday, the Japanese Titch drove admirably to reach the points. Simply put, Verstappen is a racer unto himself, and perhaps his car has found a way to accommodate him.